Hello, we're back with Ambassador Notes, and now we're going to start a new question or a new series. I wanted to talk about what attracts Muslims to the Christian faith. We've actually done academic studies on this topic. We've gone and interviewed hundreds of different converts from Islam to Christianity, and we asked them, why did you make this decision? This is like a pretty dangerous, important decision. Oftentimes, it means that they're going to be alienated from their family, maybe lose their job, maybe even have to leave their country or be put in jail. So, the first factor that we find is that a lot of Muslims are becoming disappointed with Islam. I don't know if you know this, but the Quran says that Muslims are khair al-umam, the best of all peoples. But when Muslims look around at their Islamic countries, and there are 40 odd countries in the world that have some version of the Islamic Sharia, they are sometimes pretty underwhelmed. They don't see freedom. They don't see justice. They don't see a good educational system. They don't see a place where the poor are treated with dignity, and a lot of them are really worried about the role of women, and this includes some men. So they start asking questions. Another factor that is involved with that disappointment in Islam has to do with the life of their, Islamic prophet, Muhammad, son of Abdullah. And a lot of them have been able to look at his life in a way that previously only a couple of scholars could do. By now, all the hadith and the Siratul Nabi have all been translated into many different languages, and they're just available online for pretty much anyone who wants to read them. And a lot of Muslims, when they actually read this, they read the stories behind, this guy who is supposed to be, al-insan al-kamil. He's supposed to be the ideal person in all human history, the best human being who ever existed. And they read some of his biography, and they're like, no, he doesn't deliver. So that's one of the factors. It's not enough to convert people to Christianity, but it definitely, and we know this from just talking with hundreds of MBB's Muslim background believers, we know this, that a lot of them, that's kind of the beginning of the journey, where they say, what I have is not working. So Sharon, tell us about something that actually attracts them to Christianity.
Okay. Well, one of the main things that we've noticed in the past is the example of the local Christian community. With all of its flaws and problems, we are the bride of Christ. We are his church here on earth. And when Muslims experience church for the first time, or get to know Christians in a community setting, it really changes their perspective on who we are, what we believe. I remember one time, this was years ago, when we first got on the field, we were in Jordan, and we were attending a local church, an English-speaking church. And the pastor really had it on his heart at this point to go out and serve the refugee community. At that time, there were a lot of people who had come over from the Iraqi war into Jordan, and the need was much greater than Jordan could take care of. So this pastor, with a team of people from the church, went out and distributed food and blankets and just helped out these people who had come over to Jordan. And one family started attending our church. The patriarch spoke a little bit of English, and they started coming to our church. And one time we were sitting down and talking to them, I think during coffee hour or something, we're having coffee and tea. And he said, we come here, and our fellow Muslims don't pay any attention to us. They ignore us. They spit on us. They don't help us at all. But you Christians, you came and you gave us food, and you gave us blankets, and you helped us take care of our needs. I don't know anything about Christianity, but me and my family, we are going to become Christians.
Another aspect of like the local church being attractive that I've heard is just seeing the diversity of Christians. And you especially get this when you're outside of the States. You go to an international church, and we see this here in Madrid. a lot of the churches, you're going to see people from Africa, from Asia, from North America, South America, different parts of Europe. I mean, just really all over the world. And a lot of the mosques in the United States and in Europe, they are ethnic mosques. Like you say, well, tell me about that. Oh, that's the Pakistani mosque. That's the Palestinian mosque. That's the Somali mosque. So when Christians come to a church and they actually see all these people who are worshiping together and who have their common identity, not because they have like that ethnic background, but because they have one faith, one Lord, one God, one scripture. That's another aspect. It's the same thing, right? Just the witness of the local church, but it's another way that it can connect with people. So next month we're going to continue on. I've got 6 of these main key reasons that we've put together over several decades, really, of doing research and talking with believers who came from Islam. Have any questions or comments? Leave them below. Thank you for having a heart to reach out to Muslims and to share the good news with them.